Hello, hello. Hi, everybody. How is everybody doing today? Let's see. We have Pico. Hello, Pico. We have Skull Flipper. What's going on? How are you? I'm doing very well. Thank you for asking. How are we doing today, Skull? We have LeBreton. Yo, what's up? How we doing, LeBreton? We have Ghost Bally's. Welcome to the show. Glad to see you. And then we have Remy saying hi, Goat. And as always, I don't know who we're talking about, but hi, Remy. Welcome to the show. Glad to see you here. Hopefully, everybody is having a good day. My day has been pretty low key. There has not been not been much to my day. So this evening, I was going back through some of my old YouTube content because, as a lot of people know, I have officially been flipping for a year. We're coming up on my 1 year anniversary for my first YouTube post, and I'm thinking about putting together some sort of video commemorating my 1 year on YouTube. But so in anticipation of that, I've kind of been looking at some of my older content, and yeah, it's really, really, what's a good word for it? Cringy. It's very, very cringy. I hate looking at my old content. Um, yeah, it hurts. It hurts my heart. Um, let's see. And Ghost Bally's says, "How are you?" Might be asking Skull Flipper, but maybe not. Don't know. But in general, I'm good. I have decided I'm gonna dye my kite scales black. I need to use the knife more. It's goated. Yeah, I can understand that. What's going on, Jax? How are we doing today? Welcome to the show. Welcome to the second half of the week. Admittedly, since my last stream, which was Monday when I unboxed the Unc trainer, I have not literally flipped anything other than this. I don't think a single time. So it's going to be very interesting flipping through my bite handle. It'll be interesting flipping through my collection today, just simply because my flipping has become very familiar with the trainer, which is a little different than the other Krakens. So we'll see. We'll see how everything goes. Yeah. But how's everybody doing today? What is the Unc Pink Unc trainer? The Unc Pink Unc trainer is the Kraken trainer in their seasonal pink that they just came out with not too long ago. I refer to the seasonal pink as Unc Pink, and because I have the community Kraken and the Unc Kraken, which is community Kraken because the community got this for me, the Unc Kraken because I custom ordered that to my specific likings. So I decided I would just start calling this the Unc trainer because it's part of the Kraken lineup, and I have Bali Unc on the blade of that one. So that is the Unc Pink Unc trainer. Yeah. Nice. Okay, good. So we'll flip some stuff that is not the trainer. Interestingly, I honestly haven't felt, I'm gonna have to do more comparing time, but the difference between the trainer blade on the Kraken and the Tonto blade is not immediately noticeable for me when I go from flipping one to the other. I'm not doing a lot of like shuffling back and forth between them, trying to gauge what differences there are. So when I do that, because I think I'm going to do a video for people newer in the hobby who are looking to get a Kraken, where I can break down, from a beginner's perspective, you know, this is the difference between a Kraken trainer, a Kraken live blade Tonto, and a Kraken speed channel Tonto. And when I do that, I will do a lot more detailed side-by-side comparisons and really get a good feel of the difference. But when I set down the trainer and I pick this up and start flipping it, I'm not really noticing a huge change in weight balance. I know that there is a difference in the balance. This should be a little less handle bias, although it's still handle bias. But nothing that becomes distracting because I've been flipping the trainer, you know, for the last couple of days. So that's nice. It's nice that my flipping is not disrupted. Then again, I flip through my Balis so regularly that it takes a bit to, I don't know, totally throw me off because I'm always changing Balis, therefore changing weight balances all the time. So what's going on, Spark? I have an upgrade or update on my Tsunami. Okay, what's the update? What did you do? I'm very curious. Did you finally call it on the Zerblast and send it to a modder or something like that? I sent it over to WoW Java, the Balisong modder, and they're gonna polish it for me. Nice, very cool. Are they just doing a polish on the handles, or are you having them do something special with it as well? I ask only because WoW Java does so many cool things with anodization and stuff. Are you doing anything special, or are you just having them refinish it? Just the handles, that's it? Okay, gotcha. Well, very cool. I'm happy for you. So the Zerblast did not end up winning you over. What's going on, IDK? How are we doing today? I've seen Java's work, but I really just need the handles finished different. Got it. That makes sense. Man, I told myself before the stream today, because I'm constantly forgetting what it is that I'm working on, I was going to make notes of you know, the stuff that I'm working on, and I totally didn't do that. So we'll have to struggle through trying to remember on stream what kind of stuff I'm working on. I am getting the choker fan on the Stitch V1 much more consistent, but the handles are still very strange for me in comparison to my other Balis. And I still can't really put my finger on why I have the reaction to these handles that I do. Because it was, and I mean, I was thinking it might be because they're thinner handles than most of my Balis, but I don't think I was having this issue when I was flipping, or when I had the Machine-Wise Opus V2 handles and with the Serif blade on it. I don't think I had the same issue with the handles twisting in my hands nearly as much as I do with this one. IDK says, I'm about to buy one of those Bali Plus reps. Very cool. Flippopotamus says, what's up, Unc? What's going on? Flippa, how we doing today? Welcome to the show. Welcome to the second half of the week. Liked your video that you dropped. I said it in the comment, in my comment on your video, that that smiley face location that you had was absolutely cool. And I did notice that you did you had a couple wrist bumps in there, but you had a smiley face bump in one of those clips with it too. That was really cool. And then Mel says, "What's good, Goat Unc?" I am not Goat Unc. Well, I guess maybe of the. Well, if I said I was Goat of the Uncs, 2-Bit would probably kill me. So I still don't think that I'm necessarily Goat Unc, but thank you, Mel. I appreciate it. How are you doing today? Welcome to the show. Welcome to the second half of the week. Hopefully the week has been going well for everybody thus far. I'm just flipping through my collection today. You're the goat of the unks that flips valleys. I'm good. Thank you for asking. Good. I'm glad to hear that you're good. I don't know that I am the goat of the unks that flip valleys because, yeah, there are a lot of unks that flip valleys, and a lot of them have been doing it for far longer than I. But either way, I appreciate it. So I'm flipping through my collection today, and I'm figuring out how interesting it's going to be, because since the last stream on Monday when I unboxed the Unc trainer, the Kraken V3 trainer with the seasonal pink handles. Since I opened this up, unboxed it on Monday, I literally have not flipped anything since. So today is my my first time since Monday flipping anything other than this. But so far, it hasn't been necessarily strange flipping other stuff. I seem to be jumping right back into it, so that's good. You should low-key flip the Squiddy U. Trust. I will, but I'm not a huge fan of the Squiddy U. You're the goat of the mind. Wait, you're the goat of mindset and personality of the unks that flip valleys. Okay, well, I won't argue with you. I appreciate it. Thank you. I will, for you, Mel, I will flip the Squiddy U, and I will try not to I don't know. I don't mind it. I just never flip it. Anytime I'm flipping a plastic valley, I always opt for the Lifrix canvas. That's my preferred. But this does, after the last time I had done a compare between the Lifrix and this, or the canvas and this does have a more satisfying weight. So I will give it that. But anytime I go on trips, I don't bring the, like where I have to go through airport security, I don't bring the Squiddy U with me. I always bring the canvas with me, because that's my preferred valley. But and then Win Unc, the goat of personality. Wait, no, I didn't. Win Unc, the goat of personality of unks that flip valleys. I'm gonna call you that forever now. Okay. You can just call me Unc, Mel. And Flippopotamus says, Unc the goat. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Yeah, so today, just flipping through the collection, chatting with you all. Don't really have anything planned. I have noticed, because like I said, I have been in the flipping space for a year now. We're coming up on my anniversary of my first YouTube content, and I'm toying around with doing making a video, just kind of updating, you know, what my YouTube journey has looked like in the first year. And in preparation for that, I've kind of been going back through some of my older shorts and videos and streams, and have been very, very bothered by how cringy I feel that they were. So any of you that have been following me for a while, I really, really appreciate you toughing it out with me, because there have been a number of streams that, at least when I've gone back and watched them, it was like, how did anybody not immediately tune away, because it was so painful for me to watch. Nah, that's too much work to call you Unc. Wait. Now that's too much work to call you Unc instead of Unc, the goat of personality of unks that flip valleys. I am an OG of the channel. You are there, and the funny thing is, there are. Well, I don't know why I say it's the funny thing. There are a lot of OGs of the channel. A lot of people who have been following me for a long time are still tuning into the streams and still here, and I really do appreciate it. It's really it's really cool. Yeah, so I never ever flip the the Tonto refault. I prefer I'm sorry, the Bowie refault. I prefer the Tonto refault more. I don't know if it's the effects of me having dyed the scales and them feeling a little slicker, or maybe at some point I oiled the G10 scales and that's the reason they're a little slicker. I don't know, but this one just does not feel the best. I found out about you this week. Dig your stuff. Thank you very much, Flippa. I appreciate that. And then Mel says, Amen, Unc, see you gotta go. Thanks for stopping in, Mel. I really appreciate it. Have yourself a great rest of the day and have yourself a great rest of the week. Thanks for stopping in. So, Flippa, so you are aware, I have, like I said, I've been flipping for a year now. You know, a year ago, I 3D printed my first Bali, and have been flipping ever since. Before that, I would go through hobbies every, I don't know, every couple weeks. I would pick up a new hobby. Bala songs have been the first hobby in my entire life that I have ever picked up and has stuck as long as it has. And for me, it's very much because of the community, you know, that comes with the hobby. Because I have gotten more out of Bala song flipping and the community that comes with it than I have, you know, any other hobby that I've ever picked up. But when I jump into a new hobby, historically, I have jumped in feet first, and that is very much what I did with Balis, as you can see from the collection lined up on the desk. However, I have one more Bali that I had won from a giveaway that is going to be coming to me pretty soon. And other than that, that is the last addition to my collection in the foreseeable future. Dang, that's amazing. You're really good. Oh, thank you very much. I've been flipping half butt since 2009, just getting into YouTube. Very cool. Very cool. So you've been flipping for a lot longer than I have. Yeah, I don't know that I mean, I thank you. I appreciate you saying that, that I'm really good. When I went to Blade Show this year, I was floored by the fact that, well, kind of floored, by the fact that there were people that I was meeting that had been flipping less than I have, that were exceptionally good, far better than I. But when I got into the hobby, very intentionally wanting to kind of go slow. Wasn't really looking to be a competitive flipper by any stretch of the imagination. Slow and steady is my speed personally. So what is going on, Controversy? How are we doing today? Welcome to the show. Welcome to the second half of the week. Hopefully you are doing well today. Hopefully the week has been kind to you. It's an addicting hobby. Also, sorry for cursing. I know YouTube doesn't like it. It's not, I mean, for me, it's not a YouTube thing. I personally try to avoid it when I'm on stream. I don't care if you do, that's totally fine. But when I read whatever you write, I will make it more PG. But no, don't worry about it. You're good. And Controversy says, pretty good. Hope all is well. All is well. I'm having a good day. Nothing to complain about. Weather has been very kind to me. I live in Michigan, and we have been dealing with like 90-degree or 80-degree days. And today, I think the high was like 74. So it was a really cool day, which is nice because my preferred temperature is like 65. Yeah. And then on stream today, I'm basically just flipping through the collection. Since my last stream on Monday, I unboxed the Kraken trainer in their seasonal pink, and that's literally the only thing that I have been flipping since Monday. So this is my first time flipping the rest of my Balis in a couple of days. So okay, great. I don't want to bring negativity to your stream. Oh, bro, Michigan, heck yeah, Indiana flipper right here. Very cool, very cool. Yeah, Michigan, Midwest for the win. I'm thinking of buying my first Balisong. Very cool. Do you have any particular Baileys in mind? The one I'm actually flipping right now was my first purchased Balisong. I'm most likely going to buy the Sapphire Kraken. Sapphire being the color, and Kraken like the Squid Industries Kraken V3 is what you're talking about? Yeah, I love the V3. Very cool. Yeah, so my Kraken, love my Kraken, great choice. Yeah, so my Kraken story, because I think both of you two, Controversy and Flippa, are newer to the channel. So my Kraken story is I had not knowing what I was getting into, I had ordered a custom Kraken V3, all blacked out with magenta hardware. Says Bali Unc on the blade. Went with the Tonto, and I got speed channels because I didn't know, I didn't know what the difference is, and I knew it was something, that that was a add-on that you could choose. So I opted to do it because I figured that must mean that it's better. And then literally days later in the mail, I got this mystery package, which was a full channel Kraken in teal, also custom order that says, "Thank you for your service." And this was sent anonymously by the Balisong community, thanking me for the positivity that I kind of try to bring into the community with my streams and videos and stuff. And then to close up my Kraken trifecta, just on Monday, I got my first trainer, because one of the things that I've not griped about, but with these two Krakens being live blades and where I am currently at, I could theoretically get in trouble for carrying a live blade with me, even if it's dulled. So I have wanted a Kraken trainer, and when they came out with the pink colorway, I took that as a sign that it was time for me to get a trainer. So I have 3 Krakens, 1 full channel regular, 1 speed channel, and 1 trainer. So so Controversy, if I'm assuming, have you flipped before? You said you're looking at getting your first Balisong. I'm assuming you have flipped other Balis before. I mean, you're at least familiar enough with the Balisong world to know that Krakens are where to go. And then we have Gator showing up in stream. How we doing, Gator? Welcome to the show. Welcome to the second half of the week. How are you doing, my friend? And then David is here as well. Welcome, David. What time is it for you? Like 3 o'clock in the morning? Am I too late? No, you are not too late. We're not too deep into it. I don't know how long today's stream is going to be, but no, you are definitely not late. 3:25. Jeez, oh Pete's. When do you sleep? I'm good. How are you, friend? I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Like I've said a couple times so far, since I unboxed my pink trainer on Monday, that is literally the only Balisong I have flipped. So this is my first time. This stream is my first time flipping any of my other Balis in my collection, other than the trainer since Monday. So, and then I lurk. You don't sleep, you lurk. Nice. Gator says pretty. Yes, it is. I love it. And then Flippa says my favorite trainer is currently the Astra. For $16, Astra is great. I used it on in my Bali Academy Beach Brawl submission. Had a rushed clip and didn't progress. Had fun. Well, I'm sorry you didn't progress. I'm glad that you had fun. I agree. I really like the Astra, the stainless steel Astra trainer. My only thing with it is very heavy. So I never choose to flip it because I want to flip it. I choose to flip it because I'm working on finger strength. I figure a heavier Bali is going to be good. Yo, Unc, my 3 Balis, ring of shame. My 3 Balis came in and I posted a clip with each and I streamed the unboxing. I'm sorry that I missed it. I have to check my settings because I haven't gotten a notification from YouTube about your stuff in a little bit. Let me check my notifications and figure out how I have that set up, and I will watch everything that all of the clips that you've put out. Yeah, sorry if I haven't liked them or commented on them since you put them out there. That is the bite handle. Yeah, and when I was going back, looking at my old videos and older streams, one of the ones that I had looked at was my video where I talked about how I destroyed all of my Balis because, you know, I went through and I changed all the weight configurations on all of my adjustable Balis. One of which being the Kite AL. And the way that I had destroyed this was putting the 3D printed scales on it because it made it so less handle bias than it is with the G10. And since then, and since kind of understanding how different balances and weight configurations work, I have learned that I actually enjoy this with the 3D printed scales on it much more than I enjoy it with the G10, because the G10 makes it just comically handle bias, which I enjoy. It makes it a fun flipper. It just isn't something that I can kind of go ham on. But then again, even with the 3D printed scales, I've noticed I can't really go ham on it. I still have to be very, very thoughtful because this is almost too light and the G10 is, you know, too heavy, and there isn't really anything in the middle. Kite is such a good knife. I agree. I used it for a trip, flipped it in the ocean, and it did great. I use it on all the job sites as well when I can. You're talking about the stainless steel Astra? Yeah, absolutely. And then flip a sub to David. Excellent. David is a great flipper and good at teaching new tricks. All right. Next is the stainless steel Astra. So heavy. All right, that's enough of the stainless steel. Oh, well, actually, because this one choker fans really well, I'll get one of those out there too. Yeah, I know that a lot of people who have been reviewing and giving their final thoughts on the Astra, now that it's been out there for a while, have really highlighted the fact that the sandwich design, the slabs are just so incredibly thin. But in all honesty, there is not a situation where I have ever found myself being impacted by the thin nature of these slabs. Because like I said, from doing choker fans, where I still struggle with choker fans on the bandage because of the handle shape, and periodically, recently especially, I've struggled with the choker fan on the Kraken handles, though it seems like I had it much better before, and I've like lost some of that consistency. But with the Astra, I have never once had an issue with choker fans with this handle construction, and even with the ricochet stuff, like with the extended twirl or with the kiss goodbye. Pinching down on these thin slabs, it's never been an issue for me. And then let's see. I love the Astro White. Momentum, yes, lots of momentum. And Sazin says, how have your tolerances held up? Are you referring to the Astra? Because I had to switch my bushings and they fit better than the ones that were in. My bite handle bushing needed a little sanding, and I was having terrible blade rub almost out of the box. Man, that's a bummer. I know Pico was talking about blade rub too. Oh, and Pico chimed in and said mine got blade rub and tap, but it's still fun. Yeah, so I started to get a little bit of tap a couple weeks in with it, but I realized that the screw had backed out a little bit. So after tightening that up, I have not had any issue. I don't have any tap. I don't have any blade rub. It's still very, very much in the middle of the blade is still resting very much in the middle of the handles or of the handle gap. So no, it's holding up for me very well, but I also don't flip it nearly as much as a lot of my other ballets, because yeah, I really only flip this thing either on stream when I'm flipping through my collection, or if I'm drilling something for the purpose of finger strength, because I think that a heavier ballet might be beneficial for finger strength. So I don't flip it very much. But so far it's been holding up pretty well, so no complaints. And then, Flippa had also said, my tolerances have stayed consistent. All right, and I think that gets us caught up. My Bali Plus rep is very strange to flip, but it's fun. I like it. I put these 3D printed scales on it, which make it very, very blade bias, which makes it fun to flip, but I can't just go ham on it. I have to think of what I'm doing as I'm flipping it, otherwise it'll fly out of my hands. But so long as I'm conscious in my flipping, it's all right. And like I said, it's fun because it's different. But I don't flip it very often. I never carry it around. Anytime I leave my office and I grab a ballet to carry with me throughout the house, this is never the ballet that I grab. Just bought first Ballet Plus today. You mentioned you used to fly through hobbies fast before ballet songs. What were some big ones? So right before I had gotten into ballet songs, I was doing a lot of paracord stuff. So I have like paracord, braiding supplies stuffed away in my closet. There were a number of years where I would go through phones like crazy. Like, there was a solid period of time where I wouldn't go more than maybe 4 or 5 months without getting a new phone, just because I always wanted to have the latest and greatest. Since I started flipping, I have literally had no interest whatsoever in phones. I just use what I have, and that's fine. And last summer, before I had gotten into flipping, I was heavily into paddleboarding and longboarding. It's fun to throw a helix or helix aerial with a heavy blade if it sort of wobbles. Helix, okay, see, and like I had said, I wish I would have jotted down some of the tricks that I'm working on tossing into my flipping because I keep forgetting, and one of those is the helix aerial. So thanks for thanks for bringing that up. Paracord and balisong go hand in hand. I agree. I actually made a Bali sheath with my paracord stuff right after I got into the hobby. When I had seen that those, that people made those. I play guitar. I know that's pretty common for other flippers. I almost brew, or also brew wine and mead. That is really cool. I have guitars such as this 1/4 scale carbon fiber acoustic guitar that I have hanging off of my desk, and then I have a Fender electric guitar and a Yamaha acoustic in my closet, because before I had gotten into paracord and longboarding and paddleboarding, I decided that I wanted to learn how to play guitar, so I had gotten guitars, and then after starting to do that, I thought that it might be easier for me to understand the way that chord progression works if I learned piano or keyboard. So I then got a keyboard. And then the following Christmas, my wife got me, because I had it on my list, and I had it on my list for a while. She had gotten me a electronic drum kit. So yeah, then I had a set of guitars that I was trying to learn on, while trying to learn piano, while trying to learn drums. And I overdid it in the let's learn music, and now I don't ever play my guitars. I don't remember any of the things that I learned on piano, though I did learn a couple of songs that I could play with both hands. I was actually progressing well with the piano, and I enjoyed it very much. But yeah, it takes a whole lot of time out of the day to devote that much to practicing. And I don't have a whole lot of time, because this is easy, going live and just flipping balisongs and talking to people. This doesn't take much time out of my day, whereas sitting down and learning a musical instrument takes far more. I'm a pianist, heck yeah, says Cezanne. I'm a music school dropout. Went to trades, more money. Got it. You can make a whole band. I have joked around about that. The only thing I would be missing is a bassist, where I used to have a bass and had tried to learn that, and lead vocals, because that would not be me. And then Flippa says, I lost the piano gang. Very cool, very cool. Yeah, so music was also a big hobby of mine, and it still is. I just don't make music. But I thoroughly enjoy it. Like right now, I have headphones on, earbud or bone conductive headset on, listening to music while I'm flipping on stream, because anytime I'm flipping, I'm usually listening to music. I play 5-string banjo too, but that's a whole nother beast. I believe it. That's really, really cool, Sazan. Very, very cool. I'm adding, wait, okay. Bondo, Sazin, heck yeah. Very, very cool. Yeah, I think I also have ADHD, so I forget a lot of stuff, and I can't remember what other hobbies I have really dove into feet first. I would say reptiles, but I don't really consider animal ownership a hobby because you're taking care of a life. But there was a time where I had, two ball pythons, a boa constrictor, uh, three geckos of different kinds. So I got into reptiles for a little bit, but then I you know brought my collection down. So now I just have a boa constrictor and a crested gecko, and then we have cats and a dog. I have a Mondo. Can't play it though. Is Mondo? I'm assuming it's a brand of banjo. I have no idea. So I'm just guessing at this point. Crested geckos are sick. I agree. I'm a fan. I had two of them. Oh, mandolin. Okay, got it. I agree. Crested geckos are sick. We had two of them. We had gotten right after they had hatched. We were supposed to be given eggs, and they hatched right before they got brought over to us. One of them just didn't thrive, and it didn't end up making it. But the other one, Bones, he's smaller. I say he. I think it's a he. But is totally healthy. Eats just fine, and he has been kicking it now for, man, I want to say almost 2 years now, I think. So, but yeah, big fan of crested geckos. They're really neat. Okay. What else am I working on? That did not work out. I have two Mandos, a Kentucky and a Morgan Monroe. Super fun. I'm a big bluegrass guy. That's cool. Very cool. My goodness. Heck yeah, I started playing bluegrass and kind of been moving to folk punk these last couple years. That's really cool. I was a punk kid in high school. I think when I walked across the stage at graduation, I had a four-colored mohawk. It wasn't a big, like, super tall mohawk, but it was a mohawk. So yeah, I can appreciate punk. Folk I can appreciate, but I've never really been into folk. But I guess what would you consider, like, like Jim Croce folk music, I would assume? Yes, Mischief Brew. Wait. I used to be a big on Pat the Bunny. Okay. Mohawk doesn't surprise me. Pat the Bunny is like folk punk god. Ha ha ha. I love Jim Croce. Good. I grew up listening to Jim Croce, and man, I can't even remember who else. Shoot, I don't know. Speedball Trucker. Man, who? I can't remember who else. There were a couple other folk singers that my parents really liked, that I grew up listening to, but I am coming up blank on who they were. But Jim Croce really stands out because, just all of the stuff that he did. But that is personally not my music. Like I have to be in a very special mood for me to pull out that stuff. Only stuff like that I have listened to is Billy Strings. Yeah, that is not my preferred music these days, but I can appreciate it. I like every, all music for the most part. There's a little bit of something that I enjoy everywhere. My big ones are Grateful Dead, Pat and the Pissers, and Jim Croce. I've seen Billy live. That's cool. Um, I'm I'm a I mean my musical taste is very much not in line with your musical taste, Flippa. I'm a rap guy. Not mine either, but he is amazing on the guitar. Um, yeah, I'm personally a rap guy and a ska guy. I like ska and I like rap. I like everything, but those are probably my two mains. And hyperpop. I'm a big, now that I have learned of hyperpop, I'm a huge, that is my number one musical choice at the moment is hyperpop, and then rap, and then ska. Oh, that was a ring of shame. All right. No, that was too slow. Man, I keep forgetting what I'm trying to do, or my fingers are getting in the way of themselves. All right, let's move on to the Orion S, which is probably my most consistent flipper still, I think. Though you'd never know it by my flipping today. My goodness, this thing is twisting in my hands today. What rap do you like? I like Flatbush Zombies, Wu-Tang, and the Palmer Squares. I like more rap groups than single rap artists. So I mean, I can easily name off like, and I personally like, individual rap artists more than groups typically. I could easily like list off a handful, but in all honesty, my stance on it, I'm just a huge fan of poetry. And when I learned of rap, I basically immediately associated rap with poetry that is to music. And I love poetry, and um, I love poetry, and I love music. So combining the two, it was just a no-brainer for me. My last rap show was Big X the Plug. That's cool. I have heard probably, I don't know that I've heard anything that they do on their own, but I have heard collaborations that they have done, and I have really, really enjoyed it. I need to get to a Big X the Plug show. Look up Ritz if no one has heard of him. Yep, I have heard of him. Ritz is, I can appreciate Ritz. I have a number of his songs on my YouTube music liked, though it's far enough in my, I mean, it's been so long since I was really, listening to, like Ritz and, man, I can't remember who else I was listening to at the time, but we're talking years back in my liked music. So I probably don't hear it, but maybe once every couple of months. But yeah, I like his stuff. I listen mostly to Southern rap. I'm from South Carolina. Gotcha. So man, I need to look it up. Who is the Oh, so you probably, if you like Ritz, you probably also like Yellow Wolf, I'm assuming, especially you saying Southern rap. That's kind of like right, it would be, I would think, right up your alley. Chris Webby is dope too, if you haven't heard of him. I'm not 100% sure. I will take a look. So you guys are aware because you seem like newer name. I mean, Cezanne, I know that you were at least in my last stream, I think, or a recent one anyways. But yeah, anybody who doesn't know, who may be newer to my content, I do always go back and rewatch my streams afterwards, because on stream people like tell me tricks that I should learn or artists that I should listen to and stuff like that. I always go back and I it's kind of nerdy, but I actually take notes of you know, what people tell me to look into or learn or listen to on stream or watch. So so yeah, I will definitely make note of that later on, and I will listen to Chris Webby and let you know what I think. Yellow Wolf is legit. Haven't listened to him in forever. Yeah, I hadn't either. I actually, yeah, and the funny thing is, when I listen to my likes, I always listen. I just hit play. I don't like shuffle it. So I usually listen to the same stuff that I have recently liked again and again and again. But yesterday, for whatever reason, I decided to hit the shuffle button on my liked playlist. And in doing so, one of the first songs that came up was Till It's Gone, I think is what it's called. And that was my first time listening to Yellow Wolf in probably months. I like Prof a lot. Actually, that's where I first heard Ritz when Bach Chevy came out. Okay. Prof is very interesting too. Yeah, I mean, that's how I would describe Prof right now for me, is interesting. I'm not going to say that I'm not going to say that I don't like Prof, and I'm not going to say that I really like Prof. I haven't heard enough of his stuff yet, but all of his stuff has really been interesting. He has a really, really neat style, a really neat flow. Yeah, very, very interesting. I can understand that. And Flippa says, favorite trick, mine is cherry picker. So oh man. So it really honestly, to a certain degree, it depends on what Bali I'm flipping. Because the answer, for example, I don't think I can usually get a really consistent choker fan on this, though I'm doing all right at the moment. I really thoroughly enjoy doing the choker fan. The cherry picker is more of a struggle for me because I get caught up a lot. The funny thing is, I've been doing the cherry picker for a lot longer than I thought that I had been, because one of my earlier tricks to learn, and I'm going to grab a belly I can do it better with, the Teflon Vault, for example. One of the first tricks that I actually learned was the Hellbent, which is essentially my goodness, that is too grippy. But one of the first tricks that I learned was the Hellbent, which you just close it at the end, but that is a cherry picker. So I had always thought that to do the cherry picker, you had to do the whip rollover at the end. And it wasn't until just recently that I learned that whip rollover at the end of the cherry picker is all optional. That's just a variation, but the cherry picker part itself is just that. So I enjoy the cherry picker, but it's always been a struggle for me, and it still is, because I just recently have started to identify areas in my I don't want to say mindless flipping, intentional flipping, where I can toss it in. And not every time I do, but a lot of times I do, I realize just how much I struggle actually tossing it into my flipping. It's kind of like the choker fan though. I really, really enjoy the choker fan, but struggle incorporating it into my flipping. I really like the short stop, but I can't do it all in one fluid motion yet. But I would say right now my favorite trick to do is probably the choker fan. It's just super satisfying for me. Check out Horseshoe Gang. Good starter song is Four-Headed Monster. Will do, Pico. Thank you for the recommendation. I will check them out. All right, let's get, where did I leave off? The answer, I think, is what I was flipping. I need a new default combo though, because in going back through my my older streams, trying to identify, you know, what I might be able to use for my, you know, 1 year YouTube anniversary video, it dawned on me just how long I have been doing the same default combo, and I really need to update it. Because I want to say that I've been doing the same default combo more or less for the last like 4 months at least. Despite the fact that I've learned new things, I haven't necessarily I don't know what I was just trying to do there. I haven't necessarily sprinkled all those new things into my default combo yet. Probably because I haven't perfected any of the new things yet. I'm still working on all of them. All right. I have a similar style to you. I just do a lot of aerials and hand switches. Yeah, and I don't do any, I honestly, I don't do anything with my left hand. But I am starting to try to learn more aerials. Before, up until very recently, what you just saw right there, poorly done, was really the only aerial that I would ever do. And I would either do it into a standard catch or ice pick. But then I learned the helix aerial, and that I can actually throw into my flipping pretty easily. Honestly, I just totally forget to do it. You can thumb roll over out of a choker. I do that into a helix and back into a choker as a loop for practice. Okay, so let me think about this. Thumb roll over out of a choker. Are you talking about a choker fan or a Z choker, or thumb rollover out of a choker? I do that into a helix and back into a choker as a loop. I'm having a difficult time visualizing that, Blue Bomber. So if you have the means with which to do so, and you can send me like a clip, either on Discord or on Instagram, that would be really, really awesome. I would appreciate it. That would be helpful. You should learn Van Gogh. It's old school. I believe Big Flips has a tutorial. It's the behind the neck catch in my Smiley video. Yeah, I am familiar with the Van Gogh. That is not something that I am super interested in learning at the moment. Nothing against it, but I just don't see myself doing a Van Gogh frequently enough that, like, there are other tricks at the moment with my current, you know, experience in flipping. So many more tricks that I think if I took the time to learn, I would pull them into my combos and my flipping much more than I would ever pull the Van Gogh in. So eventually I will learn the Van Gogh, but I'm definitely not rushing that one. Choker fan, I can try to show it and explain as best I can. LOL. Okay, so okay, I'm not doing this on the stitch. Let's try the cat. So choker fan, you said choker fan into a thumb rollover. Okay, so choker fan into, and like you keep your thumb on the outside and then do something like that. Yeah, see, the way I'm trying to do it after the first one, I would get on the bite handle. So I think I'm still doing it wrong. But yeah, I mean, if you can send me a short, that would be great. If you can't, I mean, that's fine too. But I'll see what I can figure out with it, because yeah, if there's some way that I can get into like an infinite loop for practice, that's definitely where it's at for me. I gotta go. My kids are running wild and need to be settled down. Have a good night, y'all. Thanks, Sazon, for stopping in. Have yourself a great rest of the night. Have a great rest of the week. I think it'll be hard to explain in words. Yeah, no worries, no worries. That's why I say, like, if you can send me a short, that would be great. But totally up to you. No pressure. All right, so I think I'm just about done with the stitch for the stream, but I really enjoy the kukri blade on this thing. But admittedly, I like the Stitch V2 better than the Stitch V1 because the kukri blade, this part right here pinches me periodically. Where, oops, that was the bite. Whereas it has much more of a triangular pattern. I don't even know what you call this little end part. I know that this is the Zen nipple, but I don't know what you call the whole thing. But it basically it has like horns that go into a triangle, and I like that. Yeah, I love doing little loops and such for practice. Agreed. Agreed. All right, so then we get on to the Kraken trainer, which I have been flipping nonstop since Monday. So very comfortable with this. Not the smoothest at all. And failed helix aerial. And bite handle. Man, that is just off. My goodness. All right, and I had flipped this all week, so we can jump through that one onto the Unc Kraken, which is the Kraken with the speed channels on it. Oh, fail. Did you like or try the Glide Kraken? Yep, I did get to flip the Glide Kraken. I like it. For me, it wasn't a super memorable experience. I can tell you that it doesn't have the same ringy sound that the full speed channel Kraken has with the three mini speed channel slots. It doesn't give it that ring. It does feel much more dense and solid in the hand, like the full channel Kraken does. But yeah, and I like the matte finish. I really do. So the Glide Kraken doesn't have the same like crosshatch texturing that the Kraken V3 has. So it does make the feel in the hand different, but I enjoy it. It's nice. Um, Definitely nothing that I feel the need to add to my collection. You know, now I have the trainer, the full channel, and the speed channel. I don't feel like I have a missing Kraken option by not having the Glide. So but I mean, it's a solid flipper. It was good enough that, you know, this year at Blade Show, you know, Squid only had the Glide Krakens with them. They didn't have any of the V3s. So I feel that, you know, that's that's where that's where they were at with Blade Show this year. And they're solid flippers. But I mean, did I like it enough that, you know, I feel the need to have one? You know, no. But it's good for anybody that has one, and it's, you know, if you need a Kraken and the V3 isn't an option, but the Glide is, you know, it's something that you'll be happy with. Ouch. All right. And then last but not least is the Community Kraken. What would you consider the Grail of Grails? So I know, my goodness, I know my personal Grail Balisong that I will eventually one day have. I've had the opportunity to flip two of them. You know, Ted sent me his, and then Gibby sent me, you know, the one that he had as part of a pass around. So the Zyzix, the Acid Works Zyzix is my, you know, Grail of Grails. That's the best Grail for me. I absolutely love that thing. My time with, especially with Ted's, because I think I had that one the longest. My time flipping Ted's Zyzix, like opened my eyes to a lot of understanding in the way that, you know, the balances work, you know, just the dynamic of the Bali and what it's doing and how it's moving around in your hand. I don't know if it's because it sounded so good that I was just paying that much more attention to my flipping than I normally did. But whatever the reason, I came out of my time with the Zyzix having a much better understanding of, you know, flipping Balisongs and how, you know, how, I don't know, how you flip. My flipping improved. I want an OG Archangel. I believe, I'm 99% sure that I got to flip a Archangel when I had gone to Blade Show. And I want to say that too. My response was something along the lines of, you know, it flips. There wasn't anything that screamed out at me like this is the greatest thing that I've ever flipped. You know, the weight didn't, you know, stand out to me. The balance didn't stand out to me. It was just a flipping experience. It's kind of like, you know, I had talked about I think it was on the last stream, somebody asked me my opinion on the Orca. And for me, the Orca, you know, very much too was right that same alley where, it wasn't so heavy that as soon as I started flipping it, I thought, oh my gosh, this is heavy, or so light that I thought, when I flipped the impulse, it was just so light that it was distracting. There's nothing distracting from my recollection of flipping the Archangel. There was nothing distracting about the Archangel for me. It was just, it flipped. It was good. Again, that's assuming that I did in fact flip an OG Archangel. But like I said, I'm 99% sure that is in fact what I was handed. All right, and with that, we have made it through my collection. So I'm going to drop my desk down, bring my chair around, get a little bit more comfortable, and then we're probably going to start wrapping things up here pretty soon. But for the time being, I will be right back. All right, and while I'm wrapping up, I will go back to the trainer because I'm really, that was a ring of shame. I'm really enjoying this. Flippa says, I need to get to Blade Show. Yeah, Blade Show is really, really cool. This was my first year going, obviously, because I'm just, 1 year in the hobby. But it was absolutely amazing. Yeah, I absolutely enjoyed it. Full details of my first year Blade Show experience are available for your viewing pleasure over on Blade Bias. Ethan and I did a podcast style conversation video that ran a little over 3 hours, talking about our experiences at Blade Show, and he had wanted to do it with me because he wanted to capture the first time goers experience. So if you're curious about what my first time at Blade Show looked like, feel free to go over to Blade Bias, and you'll be able to find more than enough feedback from me with regards to it, because like I said, we went on for probably just over 3 hours. I think it was his longest video that he's had on the channel to date. But it was great. It was a great conversation and great doing the video with him. But yeah, the whole purpose of that one was getting a first time goers kind of recap of the experience. So all right, and with that, I think we're going to shut things down for the day. So anybody who isn't aware, Flippa, I know that you're new to the show. I do have scheduled streams every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and every Saturday at noon Eastern Standard Time. So everyone is aware. This Saturday is going to be a little bit different. I don't know yet if I'm going to stream on Friday instead of Saturday, or if I'm going to do a later evening Saturday stream. But I will not be going live on Saturday at noon this week because I have a Bali meetup that I'm going to earlier in the day. I'm too budget constrained to even think about Blade Show, LOL. Yeah, I'm definitely in the mindset at this point after my first one that if I have to save all year long and not buy anything, and that's how I fund it. From this point forward, I'm going to do everything I can to make it to every Blade Show. But anybody that can't make it, I totally get that, because it is not, depending on where you're at, it is not cheap to get there. It is not cheap to stay there. And if you go and you want to buy anything, it's not cheap to walk away with new Balis either. So this Saturday, might do a Saturday evening stream, might do a stream on Friday instead, but at noon I'm going to be at a Bali meetup So I won't be going live at noon. Other than that, though, I think we've covered everything there is to cover. Great hangout. Enjoyed the stream. Hope you have a great rest of your night. Thank you very much, Flip. I appreciate it. Thank you, everybody who was able to tune in. Really, really appreciate it. My lurkers, you guys know I love you. Everybody who's been interacting with the chat, you guys are great. But for now, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for saying hi. We'll see you guys in the next one. Love you.